In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness that Allah is one. What makes a man dangerous? And how do you know if he's dangerous? The most dangerous thing that any man can do is to underestimate a man. You have different type of men who portray they're dangerous. And I'm gonna first deal with the first one. The first one is the one who always talk about what he will do and what he has done. Now you have some people that will talk and still bring that type of destruction. But the majority of them that talk like that is really talking to put fear in you where you won't try it. And some of these people I seen in prison, they was in there for murder. They was in there for taking somebody's life. They was put in a situation where they just got the ups on the next man and killed him out of fear of the other man killing him. So it was really self-defense. This type of man will try to emulate a real killer because he has a body. But in his heart, he's a coward. And these people, they come home and they try to scare you with some of their conversations. That don't work with real killers. Because in a real killer's mind, he know that you are saying this to try to promote fear, and you saying this to make it seem as if you that guy. You don't have to do that. Just be you. But that's the first character that I met in prison. The second character is the one that's humble, laid back, don't want no problems, don't talk about what he do. When you speak to him, he talk real, you gotta get up on it, you gotta listen to what he said because he speaks real low. And he's humble. He's respectable. Them type of brothers were deadly. They were deadly. They didn't put off no air of arrogance and I'm this person. I want all the women to look at me. I'm that person. When you was around him, you just knew that he wasn't nothing to play with. But he did things out of genuine self-defense. So in prison, He was respected. My fathers and uncles were very dangerous men. And I used to want to hear some of their stories. And they used to all give me cliffhanger stories. But they never ever shared what they done. The streets talked about what they done. I never heard them boast about anything that they done, nor their friends. I remember one time my father, he had a friend named Little Range. And he had a bar down there down on St. Clair back in the 90s called the Classic Scuffles. This brother was deadly. He was respectable. He was quiet. But he was deadly. Them the brothers that I respect. And them the brothers that I like. Because they not going to bring nothing to you if you don't bring nothing to them. But when you bring it, you better be for real. Don't be pretending. Be for real. That's the second person. The third person is the man who has the knowledge of himself. He knows his position in life. He knows who he is. So the family that's around him, he sees the value in his family. He sees the value in his children. He sees the value in his queen. He sees the value in himself. And he respects everyone. He's courteous. He's dependable. He's obedient to the laws of God. This type of brother that has love in his heart for his family, the love in his heart for God, this is the most dangerous man that walks the face of this earth. He will go in a burning house for his love, literally. A man that knows who he is, knows the value of the members in his family. He knows the value of his people. This brother, when you violate him or violate his family, consequences is not even on the radar. Consequences is obsolete. A brother that loves his family and loves himself, when you harm someone like that, the love in him rises above and conquers and crushes fear. Now you're dealing with a death angel. And you the one that stirred the pot by doing cowardly acts. This type of man that I seen in prison is very respectable, very honorable. He was just a good person. He was a good human being. But even in his presence, you knew he got a switch. You knew that he was dead. If pushed, if provoked, if violated without understanding. A man that acts tough or try to be a bully. See, in prison, stuff like that is checked. But out here in society, you can be whatever you want to be. But when you go inside of there, it's gladiator school. You're going to be tested on who you say that you is. Because you have some people that's in prison, they're real humble, but they really cowards. But by men not underestimating men, they look at him for who he portrayed to be, a quiet, but I don't know what type of brother he is. He might be dangerous, so I'm gonna leave him alone. But even in prison, when you humble, it will be circumstances that will arise that will test you. And in that test, either you will rise to that occasion or be exposed. And when you're doing time, you don't want to be exposed as a coward. Absolutely not. But when you go through situations where you had to go to war in there numerous of times, you can't put fear in a person like that. You know what I'm saying? They look at you like, man, stop the cap, stop the cap. That's why when you put him in prison and he around real killers, he get his commissary took, he get disrespected because you ain't who you say you is. And it's one thing about life. Life will expose you for who you portray to be, and also life will expose who you say that you are. You know, out here in society, you can be whoever you want to be. But when you are in a controlled environment, it tests the fabric of you. It tests your man in you. If you are homosexual, it's going to come out in prison. If you a man, it's going to come out in prison. You're going to go in as a man, and you're going to come out as a man. Allahu Akbar. Allah is indeed the greatest. You have brothers that went in as men, but in that environment, it tested their sexual desires. And next thing you see, this brother who was a fighter on the street, now he's messing around with Cat in prison. He's messing around with a homosexual. When you go to prison and you fall victim to your lower self and do that, you forfeit your role as a man. You forfeit that by not having control of your sexual appetite. You can go take a book and go in your cell and take care of your business. Because in that environment, that's normal. But it's not normal even in that environment where another man has sex with another man. Absolutely not. And them same brothers come home because they leave that behind bars. But the ones that was in there with them, no, nigga, you's a punk. you's a homosexual, you won't mess with none of my sisters. You won't mess with none of the women that I know. You fell victim to your sexual appetite. You can't pretend to be tough, because life will, you won't create it. You will create what you think about. You will create that around you. And when you create trying to be a killer, and you create them killers around you, now you around them, you in a world that you want to be in. And when it comes down to that world, you will find out, man, I don't want to be a part of this, because these are people that's really lit and really about that life. You was pretending to be about that life. For a man to get respect, he don't have to be a street dude. He don't have to be a killer. He don't have to be a person in the streets getting illegal money. Just be you. And men will respect you. If you're not a person that don't want drama, then don't create drama. And you will still get respect that you deserve. Because even in the event that them brothers that don't want no problems like that, don't underestimate them, because they can become killers protecting someone that they love. So it goes back again to never underestimate a man. No. And I wonder what I'll be in there. I'm gonna underestimate you because you this tall. Underestimate you because I think that you soft. I never do that. I calculate. What makes a man dangerous? What makes him dangerous is for him to have the knowledge of who he is and be in complete submission to God. Why that makes him dangerous? Because he no longer is drawn to the vices of this world that would destroy him. He's in full control of himself. Allah Akbar. Allah is indeed the greatest. So we don't have to be the tough man, or we don't have to be the killer. Just be in place when it's time to be in place. When you on that call out and it's for real, make sure you show up. Make sure you there. Because I done seen situations like this. I done seen situations where a brother do a lot of talking about what he'll do. We never talk. We never talk. We never talked about what we was gonna do. We were too busy trying to play pool, you know what I'm saying, and just kill time in it. But you had some dudes, they wanted to be, man, they want to rep their city. Yeah, so on, so on. And they used to always keep stuff started. Especially when they got a lot of homeboys around them. I didn't do that. I deal with dudes from New York, Miami, New Orleans, Tennessee. I love dudes from down south. Alabama. I deal with dudes from El Salvador. I deal with dudes from everywhere. Literally. That's how I learned a little bit of Spanish. But I was never a person that would start something, huh? It was one brother, he used to keep a lot of stuff, just a lot of chaos going on in there. And one time his homie said, hey man, I'm sick of you starting all this BS. Meet me up in the TV room, and the dude that you about to, that you want to have a problem with, we're gonna let y'all go up there and get free rec. Ain't nobody gonna jump in it, you gonna just get free rec. Do you think the dude that started all them incidents went up in that TV room? Hell no, he didn't. Hell no, he didn't. But at that time, a situation exposed him for who he was pretending to be. When somebody called you in that TV room, you gotta go in there. Win, lose, or draw. If he take a blade in there, you better have you one. Period. It's heart. People talk, but it's heart. And don't no one person run a prison either. Men respect men in there. Don't no one person run no damn prison. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Men respect men. Bottom line. That's what they do. They respect each other. And when you violate, you don't know. There's going to be consequences that come behind that. So in there, people don't just say and do what they want to do because it's consequences. Out here, you can pretend to be who you want to be. But in there, you don't just be who you want to be in there. And if you try to play that bullying role, you're going to run into the right person. Not the wrong person. You're going to run into the right person, and they're going to deal with you justly. Because in there, it's unforgiving. If you're a man, you have to be a man. Period. And when you go through a situation like that, it grooms you to face any difficulty without fear. Because you can face some of the most brutal things in there that you can face. But yet and still you remain humble. You remain humble. Because you know what blood is, and you don't want to spill your people's blood. And you damn sure ain't gonna let them spill your blood. Allahu Akbar. What makes a man dangerous? What makes him dangerous is to have the knowledge of who he is and know the value of himself. Now I want to speak about this last character, because this person is a character. This last person is a slippery snake. This is the type of person that want to be a killer, want to be a gangster. He want to be all of these negative things, but don't have the heart to be this. But he has enough ingenuity to hide behind men and get those men to do his dirty work that he's too afraid to do. And if you go inside of this person's history, they don't have no history at all of doing anything violent. The only thing that they do is keep a lot of chaos going on. And this is the one that's dangerous, because he plays under you. You feel me? He plays under you. But if you were to remove him and say, you go do it, I promise you, he would. A brother that has your best interests and that's really standing side by side with you, even if he's a leader, when you go, he's going to be the first one in the fire. And when you have a brother like that, you be eager to defend him. You be eager to defend your brother, you be eager to defend yourself. Because it's genuine friendship and brotherhood. You got some very genuine people, powerful people in prison. But that slippery snake, you have to watch out for him, because he will, anybody who he's envious of, he will gossip, spread rumors, spread lies. His heart is hypocrisy. His heart grows out of the fire of hypocrisy. He's a living testimony of a slippery hypocrite. He's a coward. Ain't no wonder in the world I would promote some violence against my own. No, you have to bring it to me. And by the grace of Allah, I pray to Allah that I finish in honor. In honor. I don't worry about seeing my blood, do you? I don't fear seeing my blood. That turns me on, as a matter of fact. These slippery snakes, man. Watch out for that type of individual, because they're in every city. They're everywhere. They are slippery. And they gossip in ways where it's undetected. It may be a joke, or it may be just outright gossip. But they say it in a way where they fashion it where it goes in your mind smooth. I've seen these type of people in prison get punished. Punished. Being a slippery snake. See, in there you don't have nowhere to run but to yourself. And even in the hole in some institutions, they'll get you in the hole. Who likes a hypocrite? Who likes a slippery snake? No one. But this type of individual, you have to watch out for him. Because he keeps chaos going on, and he has no results of what he has really done. It's really no results. Everyone that come around him, he feels threatened because of his insecurities. That's a dangerous person. So watch out for that slippery snake, because he ain't gonna be a man and come to you. He gonna put that venom in people around him and have people looking at you like there's something wrong with you. And in reality, ain't nothing wrong with you. It's that slippery, conniving snake who whispers into the hearts of men and women. And you will see it also in the women that he had whispered to. It's a common law of nature, and it's called discernment. Allah give it to all of us. God give it to all of us. Me, I use it every day. When you don't have in your heart to harm your people, God will give you clear instruction and clear discernment watch out for those who will. And Allah also gives believers endurance to overcome any wicked aggression that comes against any believer. Allah, Akbar. Allah is indeed the greatest. Watch out for that slippery snake. Watch out, listen to his conversations, and listen to him carefully. Your brother, Kabir, legend, Muhammad. Peace.